Welcome to Daddies the Podcast. I'm Eric.
And I'm Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Hey.
How was your vacation?
Yeah, welcome back. It's been okay, so vacation's always sweet. For us, it kind of, I feel like fucks things up because then we like forget how to do basic things like our intro. But you know what? Both you and I were on vacation at the same time.
Yo.
Which we didn't plan that. It just kind of happened organically.
But it was one of the most popular weeks to go on vacation, right? 4th of July.
Popular weeks, and for us, obviously at some point we're going to take vacations. It's just nice that it lined up with, like, we didn't go on vacation with each other. We just happened to go to different places at the same time. And you know what? I'll let you go first because I think you had a better experience overall than I did with a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I only had to drive 4 hours each way.
Where did you go?
We went to Lake Anna. It's in Virginia. Fire Lake. It's very cool.
Yep.
If I told you there was a power plant, like a nuclear power plant there, it would probably concern you. But apparently that makes it, like, the regulations are better for the water, so it's actually really nice.
Wait,
to
is
be
that
in.
like 5 Mile Island or?
I don't know, but you can see the power plant.
So Airbnb.
Yep, a VRBO. Yep, one of those services. Yep, it's like it's money. It's money there. You know, we're right on the water.
Was it expensive?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
deal
you
with any of
split
that
it
stuff.
over how many families? I feel like it's like no different than going to the Outer Banks and
Yep, exactly. And actually,
spending money there, right?
I think I enjoyed this more than the Outer Banks, but that comes with, we are fortunate to have friends with a boat. If we didn't have friends with a boat, we probably wouldn't go to the lake. So
can you rent? Could you rent a boat there, or is it like
I don't know.
BYOB? That just happened to work.
It is BYOB and BYOB.
Yeah.
Because to drive a boat, you have to have your boating license, and like I don't know, you have to be familiar with it. I don't know if you could rent a boat.
And also, yeah, I feel like renting a boat is a lot different than renting a car.
Right.
It's a different skill set. I don't want to say skill set, but it's a different thing.
Less people know how to drive a boat than they know how
Sure.
to drive a car.
Agreed. Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever hop
in the pilot in the captain's
cockpit? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Captain's
right.
cockpit.
Are you allowed to?
No. One, because I don't have my boating license. Two, because I'm loaded every time I get on that boat.
Yeah, right.
So
and how much would it cost if you fucking destroyed the boat? I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
That shit would be devastating.
I couldn't imagine ever purchasing a boat. They're so fucking money. But
yeah, well,
you know what?
And people say boats are money pits.
Yeah, because you can't ever. They don't go for more money than you bought them for. Just like a car.
Just like a car.
Like the gas to drive the boat around. So who we were with, they do a lot of wake surfing.
Yep.
And I tried it. I actually got up.
Did you? Yeah.
I got up for like 3 seconds.
And then did you just immediately eat shit?
And then
is that how that goes?
And then I was sore as fuck for days.
Yeah. Does it hurt? Like when you fall, does it beat the shit out of you?
We hardly went fast, but you're like using your whole body, like trying to hang on and like maneuver yourself up and crouch and pull. But yes, when you fall, it still kind of hurts. I think I had like bruises all over. Not to mention, I got a lot of sun. I don't know if you can tell in this light, but I can.
So today at work, you were sun bleached.
Yeah.
The ultimate tan.
I got
you
crispy.
were, yeah. But so in terms of like food, are you like, what's the food situation like? Because that's always the most important, or one of the most important parts about vacation, right?
So we went out like twice, sort of. When we very first got down, we went out for lunch, and then we went to the grocery store and we just bought a fuck ton of groceries, and then we basically cooked every night. But one night we went out. It was on Tuesday. We went to a Mexican place. It's called something Patron. That's the name of the Mexican place. It was really fucking good, actually. But what comes with Mexican food is Mexican drinks, and I was nearly blackout drunk on Tuesday. And then I just remember eating the leftovers the next morning. That's it. That's it.
Well, I knew you were having a very fun week because every time I would text you, you would text me back like a day later. Like you would read it, and then it would be like 24 hours later, and you would respond, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is this response?" And it was to that previous,
but seemed random and out of place.
Yeah.
Also, no fucking signal anywhere in this lake. So like, I very well could have texted back right away, and it took a day to send.
I called you, and you sounded like you were talking through a potato.
Yeah.
And it was very just drony.
And guess what else? I fucking lost my ring again.
Okay, you have a nice tan
right?
around where that ring is.
The wedding ring tan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people need to stop buying expensive wedding bands because you know what? I have my OG one, but it doesn't fit me anymore. And so now I just buy the Qualos, and then what's the other brand?
Essos.
It's all the same shit, but it's like that silicone,
Yeah.
But I don't feel bad losing it because they're like $20 to $30, so it's like, all right, that doesn't hurt as much.
So I think my new thing is instead of just buying those little silicone rings, I'm just gonna wear cock rings on my finger.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't they just real? Or what about the
wait, mine are real small like this.
What about
not how all cock
dude?
Rings are?
Just that's about 6 to 7 inches, right? What about the dude from Disturbed? He's got the giant. I don't know if he still has them, but he used to have the really giant lip rings.
David
Do you remember?
Draymond?
He had the really, really. That was his.
I thought you were gonna say lip discs, like the
fucking the gauge. You have to gauge your fucking lip hole. What piercing is that?
The labret.
Is that the labret? You had your labret.
That was my only piercing I've ever had. Was my labret,
and you had to surgically, or didn't they have to cut it the fuck out?
The plate because there's a plate on the inside, and it grew over like a piece of skin, so I couldn't twist it. And so the guy, he was just like, he did. I don't think he got any anesthesia. $100 at the emergency room. He just sliced it, took pliers, and untwisted it.
Did it hurt like a motherfucker?
Fucking miserable. And then
especially mouth
sore.
stuff. I feel like mouth stuff is always. Yeah, that's why I never really fucked with. Now I wouldn't do lip rings. I would never do a tongue ring, man. Like I hear tongue rings, they fuck your teeth up.
Sure.
Especially because talk to anyone with a tongue ring, and they are constantly like hitting it against their teeth. Yeah. Because you fuck with it.
All right. Hear me out.
Yes.
How detrimental is it if you're sucking on a titty that has nipple rings? And it's banging on your teeth there. Is that damaging?
I don't think so because you're not doing it for a
long time.
But you're not doing it for the tongue ring is there until you take it out. You're not
5 hours at a time. Wait, what was
you're sucking on a titty for 5?
Grandma's Boy. She said, "Was that young Jonah Hill?" He's just sucking on her titty for the whole last third of the whole movie.
And we've talked about young Jonah Hill, man, 40-year-old virgin.
Oh yeah.
I love Jonah Hill, I do, but like young Jonah Hill,
Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah. He's there. He's always there. So when did you get back? A couple days ago.
Yeah, Saturday. And we got back on Saturday.
And so the drive wasn't bad.
Nope, 4 hours there, 4 hours back. Shay drove 2, I drove 2, give or take.
Okay, so you
a lot of caffeine. But then when I got home, and this is common for me, so probably like the last hour of the drive, kids were starting to get a little, and I know I can't hold a candle to your trip, but they started getting a little bickery, back and forth at each other, and I finally, when I have lack of sleep, that's when I get grumpy.
Sure.
So I feel bad. I snapped on him. I said, I started like threatening to take away iPads, and you can't watch TV, and I'm gonna stop this car, and
So maybe we turn this car around, just go back
Go
to
back
the
to the lake.
go back to the fucking. Okay.
But then it was like, all right, once we get home, Daddy's got to go take a nap, and Shay was looking at me like, nothing bad would have happened, but I definitely just needed a nap.
What time did you leave? Early?
Yeah, checkout was at like 9 or 10 or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you got home
we left
at
pretty
a
much
decent time.
Yep. Right in the afternoon. Turned on my air conditioner before we got home.
You
so
got
that
it
the house was nice and cool. Fuck.
You set you got to set the air conditioner to eco mode or whatever yours is called.
I turned it to like 80 before.
I think ours was like 76.
The dog wasn't home. The dog wasn't home while we were gone, so I didn't have to keep the house cool for anything.
Right. We do the same thing, and then I think we were at 76, and then we brought it to 72 or whatever because it's been hot as fuck.
It has been.
So your vacation was it was okay. I don't want to say I had a bad vacation, right?
Go ahead. Yeah. You go.
We went to Florida, and Florida is fucking hot. It's humid.
Would you consider Florida to be the cellar of America?
I think I said that earlier today. It's just a very wet place. So
I thought you said Sellersville, America, and I was like, Sellersville? Where the fuck is that?
Okay. So hear me out. You wash a shirt, right?
Okay.
Like at home in your washer. You wash your shirt. You hang it to dry, right? It'll dry. In Florida, it just stays fucking wet. Because it's so humid.
Everything's just too wet. By the way, Sellersville is in Pennsylvania. There is actually Sellersville.
So that's where we were. No, that's not where we were. So look, the trip, we always split the trip in 2 days. We drive to North Carolina, we stop, and then we finish. So the first day going to Florida.
Finish?
That's where we finish. The first day is always the longer of the 2 days going to Florida. I think it's like a 6.5, 7 hour drive to North Carolina, and then it's another 4.5, 5 hour drive to the destination. But going, it's in reverse. So the first day is a lot shorter, and then the second day sucks ass because, But anyway, so we get there, and the reason we were going was for our 10-year wedding anniversary. So 10 years ago, we got married in Jacksonville. You were there.
Congrats.
I almost killed all of us. Thanks.
You did.
We all almost died from heat stroke.
Did we tell that story? How you got the fucking hottest, thickest suits?
But they looked damn good.
They did look good.
But we almost died. I think they were like the real bougie. Like they were like, not Jimmy Choo's, but they were Michael Kors.
Was it Kors?
It was, or...
Oh, no, it was Coors Light, Texas.
They just had little fucking beers all over.
The Rockies are cold as the mountains.
And so it was
cold as the Rockies.
Cold as the Rockies, where they just get blue. It was, but look, it was inopportune timing because we wanted to get there at so we could be there for our anniversary. But work had shit Monday and Tuesday, so we left on Wednesday. We got there on Thursday, and then we're like, all right, well, let's go where we got married on Sunday because that was the cheapest day to go. It's a very expensive place. But let me tell you about that fucking experience, right? So we get there, and we booked like the getaway package, the most expensive package they had for one night, and it was an ocean front view, and it came with a bottle of Prosecco, a cheese and meat plate.
Okay. How was that spread?
Oh, well, and a complimentary breakfast.
Okay.
Cool. Like all that sounds great, right? Yeah. So we get there, we check in. Oh, and valet was included. So we go in, we check in, our room's ready. We got there a little early, throw our bags in the room, and then we walk around. It's downtown, so it's at the beach. So we went to this place called the Lemon Bar, where
the Lemon
Bar.
Okay.
Where we had, I think I sent you a picture.
Not the lemon party bar.
I made that joke, and nobody knew what a lemon party was, and it was really disappointing because that's fucking hilarious. So look, we have our appetizers, have a couple drinks, and then we went to, I think we went somewhere. Oh no, we went and walked around for a little bit. Then we went and we had dinner, and then we went and we had ice cream. Right? Yeah, whatever. Well, when we checked in, I forgot to say this, there was a sign at the check-in counter that said between 6:30, which was the day we checked in, and 7:03, dredging will take place on the beach. You will not have access to the beach. Okay, well, that's fucked because I booked it on Saturday. Like, I booked the trip on Saturday for literally the next day. Didn't mention that at all.
Yeah. You figured they would.
Figured they would. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal. However, and we were like, okay, whatever. We're not going to go to the beach anyway. So that's how we were looking at it. However, we had an oceanfront view. So all night we heard beep, beep, choo, 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 choo. So we slept. We didn't sleep at all. Some would say we didn't even sleep a wink.
So that sounds like those rooms would have been the worst rooms.
Yes, right. Ironically enough, right? You get the oceanfront view, which is the best room, and like the view was amazing. And we were on the top. We were on the 8th floor, so like it was. But all night, I mean, they were fucking dredging that ass.
Did you get any jackhammering in?
Of course.
Oh, good. Because 10th anniversary.
By the dredger.
You just
the
lay
hotel
down on the beach, stick your butt up.
Well, so anyway, so I open up, I get in there and I'm like, hey, where's the meat and cheese plate, right? It was in the mini fridge. So it was in there. I open it up, bottle of Prosecco's in there, cool.
Hold on. Please tell me it's like a fucking Lunchable or something.
Dude. So take it out. It's on a long plate. It was like 4 slices of like fucking, if you took like a block of cheddar and just cut it into triangles, a scoop of blue cheese crumbles, 1 strawberry cut in half, 4 blueberries, 4 blackberries, and some weird like honey sculpture thing. Oh, and some really stale crackers, right? So we didn't eat it. We were like, all right, well, this is horrible.
They should have just given you a Lunchable.
Well, I'm already annoyed at this point, right? So then we're about to go to bed. So I take a shower. I get out of the shower. The bathroom's flooded with like 3 inches of water. So the shower leaks, right? And then you can tell it's been leaking for a while because the wall had black mold all over it. And it was just like, whatever. So we go to bed. Bed was comfortable. We go to get our breakfast. And I'm like, hey, how does the breakfast work? And she's like, you can each get 1 entree and 1 non-alcoholic beverage. Cool, right? Like that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Right on. So then we sat there for about 35 minutes and no one came over to us. Mind you, there were only 3 tables, so 4 including us. No one came over. There were 2 servers doing their area. No one came over to us. So eventually I had to do the like finger like hold up and the manager came back over and she was like, oh, all right, I'll take your order. And she did. So we got the continental breakfast, the generic, a little bit of everything, the
here's a
like
croissant.
egg, sausage, yes, toast,
okay.
Whatever.
Wait a minute, we talked about continental breakfasts. Continental breakfast ain't got no sausage.
No, it's just called the continental.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's called the Atlantic. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever. The little bit smorgasbord, whatever.
Yes.
And then we each got a coffee. So we eat, and then she brings me out a bill for $60. And I was like, well, it was supposed to be included. She's like, oh, it is, but you just have to write your room number, and then they'll take it off. So I was like, oh, okay, right on.
You should just wrote somebody else's room number.
Well, so we go to check out, and I was like, hey, the breakfast is supposed to be included. She's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll give you $40 back. And I was like, but it's supposed to all be included, minus the only thing. It should have been like a charge for like $8, which was the tip. Like cool,
right.
but
just
everything else, or
That's
it was
$10,
whatever. I don't know what it was. Like whatever the tip was. And she was like, oh yeah, I'll take $40 off. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem right, but okay. So then I'm just annoyed at that point. Like I didn't sleep. I had a horrible breakfast experience. And it was just overall a miserable time. So I got the text message, rate your stay, 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. So I tapped 1.
Yeah.
And then it said, why? So I went on to ChatGPT and I said, write a very long-winded paragraph with these reasons. And I listed everything.
You actually asked it to be long-winded?
I did. I said, flooded shower, dredging without notification, charging me for a free breakfast that I already paid for in the package. Like, it was included, you know? So it did. And I copied and I pasted that into the response. Well, then the manager or the assistant manager texted me. And she was like, hey, can I call you? And I was like, sure, you know, right on. And she called and she was like,
what did she call you?
She was like, so she's walking through everything, or I'm walking her through everything. And I wasn't like irate. I was just kind of annoyed. And I was like, look, here's what happened. I told her everything I told you. And she was like, well, number one, the dredging, we just found out about that on Friday. And I was like, well, right on, but I booked the room on Saturday. So you could have let me know. I was like, I didn't. I would have had a better night's sleep with my kids than I did at your location.
Which is sad.
And then the breakfast thing, she was like, yeah, we tell them it's roughly $40 per person, but that's something like on our end, that has nothing to do with you. We just use that as team meetings that like, hey, it's probably going to be around $40 per person. So she's like, why they charged you doesn't make sense. So long story short, I got my $523 back.
Did you?
They refunded the whole thing. And then she said, we're redoing the whole hotel. I want to invite you back to try it again. She's like, here's my contact information. She's like, that's not what we strive. And you know what? Kudos to her, because that was awesome. She was great. And most of the people there were fine. It was just the experience really fucking sucked, which was disappointing because like that was a big part of why we went on this trip, you know?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, if that was my experience, I wouldn't have gone back.
Well, and
that
I
would
told
have been
her,
my last visit there.
I said, I will never go back here again. She's like, but she was like, look, she was like, don't come back for about a year because we're renovating the whole hotel. And then let me know when you're coming back. And I was like, okay, like that's cool. That's fair. But yeah. So, and then other than that, so pissed off about that. But then I was like, all right, cool. Like we got our money back. It was just so fucking hot. I mean, no different than here in Delaware.
Damn, did you just stay one night?
Dude, it was $500 a night.
And they gave you a free charcuterie board?
Well, I mean, it ended up in the
fucking
fucking trash,
Lunchable?
or whoever came in. Yeah, it was not. That was not good. But overall, shitty experience. And then, like, we went to the zoo one day, and it was just so hot, dude. There was no one there, and you know it's going to be bad. The Jacksonville Zoo is always crowded. There was no one there. Like, I saw maybe 50 people.
Wow, just too hot.
Too hot. So no one went. So it was.
What
just
are the animals that thrive in the heat?
I mean, the lions were living it up.
Okay. Yeah.
The sea otters. We saw a lot of sea otters. The monkeys were kind of doing their thing.
Okay.
We got to feed the giraffes. Like, that's cool. I like that zoo a lot.
How
the problem
penguins?
is, no penguins.
No penguins.
But
okay.
I'll tell you
Too
what,
hot.
man. You go to a food court at a zoo. You expect a couple things, right? Chicken tenders, fries, burger,
Yes.
fries, or a hot dog, right? Like that's
Maybe
kinda it.
nachos.
Maybe nachos, a soft pretzel thingy, you know, the little hanging guy. Nope, they're like, we've revamped our menu, pulled pork with deep fried pickles, shit that you don't want at the zoo. You know what I mean? Like,
I
the
want
chicken tenders were like breaded in
foods.
this like spicy. They were huge, but then and everything was a la carte, which is also AIDS. You know, like, dude, don't do that at the zoo. It's the fucking zoo.
Yeah, it's not that fancy.
Well, and then fucking Florida, dude. So Isla wanted to ride the carousel. It was included with her ticket. Motherfucker had used Band-Aids. Like, people were picking their Band-Aids off and putting them all over the animals. So it's like, yeah, what the fuck, man? And the Walmart, like,
Florida sounds gross.
yeah, it is gross, dude. Like the Walmarts are beat. Let me tell you something about Walmart though, and I want to pick your brain. This isn't about specifically Florida's Walmarts. It was actually, I was at the Walmart here today in Middletown.
This is just
right?
Walmart. Okay.
In general. Oh, well, maybe it's just a pet peeve of mine, or I don't even know if I would call it that, right? So I wanted to look at some soaps, you know, as I do.
Yeah, you do be loving soaps.
Walmart there were a good bit of people there, but there was no one in that aisle except me and this individual with her child.
Okay.
And so she was blocking where I needed to go. Like, she had her cart literally.
Was she blocking the thing that you wanted to look at, or was she just blocking the path?
She was. Yeah, not where I wanted to go. She was blocking the thing I wanted to look at. Like
Okay.
it couldn't have been a better block, right? So she was blocking that shit. And so she was looking at the soap, like the body wash wall, and she would go, "Hold on, baby cakes. Let me. I need to check this set." She would open it up, walk back, and smell it. No, put it back, dude. She did that shit for like 10 minutes, and I didn't want to be like, "Yo, I'm trying to like get right the fuck here." Okay, body washes all smell the same. You know, it smells like fucking coconut water, lavender, or like tangerine.
Did she have like something to refresh her nostrils? Like
she had the with the
beans?
coffee.
Yeah. So
it's
to
like when you're
reset.
smelling candles. Is that just a me being annoyed thing, or is that like that's annoying, right? Like, and I didn't want to be like, "Hey, I need to get here." Like normally I would say, "Hey, excuse me, can I get in?" But she was like, "Post it the fuck up in front of the shit I wanted to look
You
at."
just put on the Ludacris song, "Move, bitch."
where I like the picture where it's like when you ask someone when you say "excuse me" once, and it's just slowly that individual turning into Ludacris.
No, I don't think that's super unreasonable. But you probably should have been like,
I should have.
Hey, I got to get right there.
Especially after like 10 minutes.
So I went shopping on Saturday. I went to the farmer's market.
Okay.
By the way, I've got I'm on a diet kick right now. I'll go into
that's
that.
what I was about to touch on. Yeah.
Well, I'll start.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start with it because it goes into this. I go and Salem gets in the car.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
So I'm going and I push the cart back all the way up because they don't have fucking cart corrals because it's the farmer's market. So I go all the way back up to the store and I push it there. And I'm following then. I'm like kind of, you know, I'm a fast walk.
Yeah.
And this woman is pushing her cart real slow. So I walk behind her and then she's up, of course, the car right next to me. So she's putting her groceries in the passenger side, which still, I guess that makes sense. That's fine. But she's right where I need to be. So I'm like kind of waiting. I'm not sure how long. And she's moving. Here's her.
Some would say slow as molasses.
She was like the tortoise. And I was the hare. But
slow and steady, dog. But yeah.
So, and then I go, I just go, excuse me. I don't want you to think that I'm just standing behind you like,
Did she not realize you were there?
She had no idea. She was oblivious. And I was like trying to like, no. She didn't jump, but I was trying not to get her to jump. I didn't want to be like.
Startle her.
Yeah, because she was kind of old. And then she was like, "Oh my goodness, honey, I'm so sorry." And then she did like a fucking 15-point turn out from between our cars. She was like, I could go load up on the other side.
My thing is like, okay, it's one thing to be like old, but like some people only care about themselves. I feel like truly
a lot of people like that.
It is. It's literally fuck everyone else. It's all about me. Instead of having some sort of like, oh, there are other people in this world that are also trying to move, you know, do things and move around and live lives. But nope, like I've
been trying to act more like that lately, actually.
What, just like it's all about you?
Act like it's all about me.
Well, everyone else does it.
I know. Well,
especially
I don't want to be. I don't want to. All right, how about this? If I am standing in the grocery store, I'm not like staring over my shoulder, waiting for somebody to go. Excuse me, you need to move, or even like just to see if somebody's in the aisle. I'm appropriately like on the side of the lane, but I'm not like, oh, hold on, let me move out of your way for you. I'll wait until somebody says, hey, let me get past you. Like common decency.
Dude, today at another Walmart, the one in Elkton, I saw this woman. She pulled into a, you know, they have like they're not spots, but they're like striped squares. And I don't know like what if they're supposed to be like if they're handicap spots or
are they usually next to the handicap spots? Those ones.
Yeah, or is that just for like wheelchair like unloading? I think, or you know like, dude, she flies in. So first she was going the wrong way, and then she flies in. She hits a cart in the spot, and it slams into another car. Like this person's in there shopping, and then she got up and checked the front of her car. And then just walked inside. Nope. And it's shit like that. So
you know who would have saved
number
the
one,
day
also
here?
put your
cart narcs. The cart narcs would have saved the day.
So there's what is it, the shopping cart theory or whatever, where it's like if an individual like doesn't put the cart, like if they go shopping and they don't put the cart back in the corral, like that says a lot about that individual.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And it does, because you can't take 2 seconds to push the fucking cart bag.
Mm-hmm.
You use the cart.
It's chaotic because it's not illegal, but it's frowned upon.
It just makes you a bad person, right?
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
But so you're on a diet kick. I'm like, well, because you on vacation, you just eat a bunch of bullshit, and then you literally feel like you're gonna fucking die.
I ate so poorly, and I drank so much alcohol.
Yep.
I came home, and I actually felt unwell just from existing. So here's what I did.
Yeah.
I went on ChatGPT, and I said, make me a meal plan. I did this on Saturday after my wonderful nap. Oh, and by the way, Shay woke me up from my nap with Starbucks. Fuck yeah. Oh, so it was
refresher.
That was amazing. No,
the shaken espresso, the brown
sugar shaken espresso with oat milk. That's what it is.
That's Jenna's shit too, man.
Fire. So I went on ChatGPT and I said, make me a meal plan. I want a high protein, high fiber diet, 1,800 calories, 3 meals a day, maybe a snack. And it made me 3 meals over 3 days and a snack each day, all with like those macros that I kind of asked for.
And so, and you followed it today.
I followed it today. I shuffled the things up because I didn't have all the ingredients. But I was a little late coming on here because I had to make. So I made for dinner. I made rice, salmon, and asparagus.
Are you going to eat salmon tomorrow for lunch? Are you going to be fish guy at work?
No, they don't. I think ChatGPT knows well enough not to give somebody salmon for lunch.
That's fair.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And and then I started preparing my meal for tomorrow. I made a quinoa salad. It's got like grape tomatoes. What's the difference between grape tomatoes and cherry tomatoes?
One I think has seeds. So cherry tomatoes are round and grape tomatoes are.
Fuck. I got grape tomatoes. Well, we'll see how it is.
Grape tomatoes are good. Grape tomatoes are good. Hold on, but to backpedal on that real fast, I want to know, is fish acceptable in the workplace to eat? Like, opinions on that, right?
So,
and I'm gonna say fuck no, unless it's sushi that doesn't involve cooking.
Okay, that's fair. I'd say a can of tuna fish is fine, but that's where it stops. Or one of those bags of tuna.
Sure,
those little
little sun-kissed.
Yes.
Are they sun-kissed?
No, sea-kissed.
Sea-kissed. Sun-kissed. Star-kissed. They're kissed
by the star.
But cooking fish in a microwave. Okay, let me so you should not.
Remember somebody did that at work. Except they had they put a fucking George Foreman in their office. We all just started smelling like everybody just started to notice because all the vents are connected. It smelled fucking terrible.
Motherfucker, cooking a fucking fish dinner. You can't do that. You shouldn't cook fish, but anyway, I'm sorry. So let me ask, quinoa though, did you cook it in broth? You have to.
No, I didn't.
Did you rinse it, I hope, first?
I did rinse it.
Okay, good. Because if not, it's super bitter.
Yeah, it said that on the thing. That's interesting.
You have to rinse quinoa, but if you cook it, so we eat a lot of quinoa, and we always cook it in just a chicken broth, veggie broth, whatever. It gives it a lot more flavor. And it's nice because it's so packed in protein.
Yeah, so I'm
I don't know
excited
if
for that.
packed is the right word,
well,
but it's got it.
And I ate a little bit of it. I just ate like a spoonful.
And delicious, right?
Before I came up, but I feel like there's one of those little like quinoa like beads.
Quinoa, Jenna said they look like condoms, like little baby condoms. If you look at a cooked quinoa, is it a cooked quinoa?
I don't know.
Or some people call it quinoa.
Quinoa.
You got to cook it. You got to cook it in broth. And we always do it with avocado. I can't even remember the meal chicken. Chicken, boneless chicken thighs, cooked in one of those little those little McCormick or whatever those fucking seasoning packets are.
Sure. Yeah.
Quinoa, tomatoes, just a little salad. That's the shit right there.
Okay. But yeah, I'm all about it.
But I came in today and you were eating pineapple with cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. Yes.
College cheese.
Cottage cheese.
But I mentioned, I said the word curdled.
Oh, and that fucked me all the way up. Because that was my first time.
You up.
That was my first time ever eating cottage cheese. And as soon as you said that it was curdled, No, thank you.
So it kind of
it turned me off.
Is curdled a word that irks you?
Maybe now.
So
I think
okay.
so. It never has been.
I didn't even I don't use who uses the word curdled a lot unless you're making cheese.
It definitely is a word. That's a word for me now. Actually, now that I think about it, like now I think
you don't
every
like
time
that.
you're gonna say it. What's that shot that you take? Is that a Irish car bomb? Where if you let it sit long enough, it fucking curdles, and then you drink it.
Yep. And it does curdle. It just gets real chunky. It looks like a fucking just like a yeast infection. But okay, so curdled is a word, but there are words that make people. I mean, you hear about it all the time. Like there are words that are what would they elicit a visceral response, right?
You know the number one.
Yeah, so number one has to be moist.
Has to be moist for sure.
Moist is number one, I feel like, on any fucking list. But what are some words that make people like cringe?
I got one. Shay hates this one.
Okay.
Panties.
Panties?
She hates panties. She fucking hates it when I say it.
Jenna hates the word horny.
Okay.
Horny for her. So what are some other ones? Like, what are words that cause that reaction in individuals?
The word itself, not
the
what
word,
it is.
yeah.
Not
yeah,
what
yeah.
it is, just the word.
Yep.
What about squelch?
Squelch. I feel like squirt.
Oh, yeah.
What about slurp?
Okay.
Are they creamy? Is
creamy. I bet creamy.
Creamy is probably fucking one.
Yeah. Creamy and squirt. Wow. Well, wait a minute. All these words have something to do with the vagina. Wait. Well, does every single one of those words have something to do with it? Well, vaginas don't curdle.
Or is it just? Well, I guess they could. Or is it just gross sounding words that cause like the word like aversion or whatever? You know, like there are. Is it just specific nasty words? You know, like all these words we kind of talked about are kind of like kind of gross. You know, phlegm is probably right. Like I feel like
the
these
words are actually gross, and maybe
I'm curious
maybe
to
it
see
is
like
what the words are.
I'm curious to see what words gross people out. You know, like what word?
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, what grosses you out? Like what? So I know for you, it's curdled.
Yeah, now it's curdled for sure. Moist, it doesn't bother me though.
Moist doesn't. Moist.
Or what about moister than oyster?
That. Okay. What about?
Can we do them all?
Those panties got me so horny because they were moist, and then I curdled it.
Then I curdled I
curdled. My squirt was curdled.
No, my squirt curdled out of my penis.
My squirt curdled out of my penis, and then I used my phlegm to clean it up. I feel like we just fucked somebody all the way up.
Well, we fucked everybody up a little bit, or fucked one person all the way up. That, you know what, that sounds like a really fucked up version of Mad Libs.
Yeah, right. When the cat ate my penis, but we've just used all the words that
we
fuck
should do
people
that.
up.
Can we do that next week? Can we do that next week? Is play a fucking dirty game of a bad game of Mad Libs like that?
Yes, absolutely.
Are we allowed to think Mad Libs would actually appreciate us using their product like that?
Well, you know,
is there an adult version of Mad Libs?
I'm sure. All
right, well, we'll buy a different game and call it.
I'm sure there's like free that's like not.
I got it. Because Bad Libs.
Sure. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Can't sue us for that. Yeah, man. So I feel like that was the first time I've ever witnessed you kind of like. I assume your toes kind of curdled.
My pee went inside of me.
You scared turtled.
Yeah, I did. All the way.
It scared turtled it. Yeah,
it still doesn't come out. Actually, I'm a little worried.
I don't know. Like there isn't a certain word that gets me.
None of them fuck you up. Here,
doesn't fuck me up. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna find some. All right.
Is there a list? Yeah. Find a list.
Okay. All right. So there. Wow, we hit a good bit of these.
Did we? Did we get a good bit of them? What did we miss?
Curd, which is half of our curdle.
Okay, sure, that's fair.
Flaccid, which is what I am right now.
Flaccid, really?
Yeah. Pus.
Okay.
Vaginal discharge. Okay, doctor.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Pulp, which I dislike pulp, but the word doesn't freak me out.
Okay.
Shay used to say when she would drink orange juice with pulp in it, it tasted like dead bodies. It made her think of dead bodies floating in her orange juice.
Pulp?
Pulp, yeah.
Okay.
Smegma.
Okay.
Crevice. Squid.
Crevice.
Yeah, squid.
Okay.
Ointment, which I could oddly see ointment.
Ointment.
Rub the rub the ointment on me.
Rub the ointment on my moist panties.
Oh, here, how about this? The next word is smear. Smear the ointment on my moist squirt panties.
Well, or the guitarist of the Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Pat Smear. Okay, so I don't know what this word is or how to say it. Lugubrious.
Lugubrious.
Lugubrious. Yes. I hardly know her. Slurp, chunky, flap. Yeah.
So it is safe to say that most of these words are kind of like gross, for the most part, like bodily, fluid,
or
based,
like
or
not
like
even fluid, or like behavior, something that your body does, right? Yeah.
But are they all body based? Except
not
squid?
Squid, right? But otherwise,
I guess it could be.
Yeah, lugubrious. I don't.
What does lugubrious mean?
Actually, when I did this,
yeah,
means
I don't
sad
know
or dismal, but it sounds like something that would bubble up from the bottom of a murky pond with that slimy goo sound. So no, it actually doesn't mean. It just means sad.
Yeah,
which is a really weird way of saying being sad. Yeah. But so most of them, yeah. So most people just don't like body part words, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And but the people who don't like those words, they don't fucking like those words. You know, it. You know what though? Too, I was thinking about. We didn't get a chance to talk about this because 2 weeks ago recording was so fucking wonky, and I wanted to pick your brain. So we had an audit at work, right? And so we have 2 locations. The individual showed up at the wrong location. You were there. It was very fucking annoying. But then he was pissed off that we made him drive to the other location to conduct the audit that was scheduled. Now, do you think that would sway you to then react poorly and be like biased in your scoring, right? Like, I feel like
I would be apologetic that I went to the wrong fucking place, and I would be like, oh, I'm sorry about that, guys, and not that I would necessarily go a little easier, but I would be a little more understanding of things.
Well, it was the complete opposite. Like, the dude showed up and just rained hell upon us.
He was a real
he was
a cock meat sandwich.
Yeah. Big Bob's cock meat sandwich. Yep. Well, it was just fucking obnoxious, man. And like, if you're going to do an audit and you fuck up, like he fucked up, we did it.
Right.
Then when you come in, yes, apologetic. It's not like we were being assholes to you, but it's your fault, So, but he fucking, and to me, I know it's off topic, but like, dude, I don't know why that's so fucking just annoying to me. If you're doing something, you can't let emotion, and I guess it is hard to take human emotion out of humans, but you can't let human emotions drive something that's supposed to be like objectively unbiased, right? Like it's either this or not. It's not, well, there's room for interpretation. There's fucking not,
No. Yeah, 2 + 2 is 4. All day.
Yeah, right.
Not open for interpretation.
Hate that there's not the 2 + 2 is 5 in this kind of scenario.
Well, sometimes.
No, not right now. Dude, that shit is fucking it's shit like that really just fucking irks the hell out of me.
Do you just want to become an auditor and just be a real dickhead to people? Everything's about us.
Sure. Things that we hate.
What was that TV show? Where I think it was Don Cheadle, and peeps would go and evaluate businesses. They would charge them a lot of money. Was it Don Cheadle?
Like Rhodey?
Yeah, Don Cheadle. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Well, so anyway, they would go. How do I find this TV show? Don Cheadle TV show consultant. House of Lies is what it was.
Was it like a series, or was it like a
it was a TV show. It was on Showtime. They would go and like, oh, this business or this corporation, needs some assistance, and they would
were
go
they
in
real
there.
Corporations, or was it like a T?
No, it was
like
a TV
that's
show.
what they did in the show. I see. Okay.
And they would go and they would like get in there, charge them a lot of money for their consulting services, and just notice that. I don't know, for example, and I didn't even hardly really watch the show. I think I watched like a season or something. It was a really long time ago. They were going to be like, I noticed that all the top execs are fucking their secretaries. They should not do that. And they would like give a business plan to do so and save the company a lot of money down the road.
All right.
But I don't know. Why the fuck did I even bring that up?
Well, auditing. And this is kind of what this guy was doing.
Yeah. You should do that.
Speaking of TV shows, Hot D House of the Dragon has been really fucking good.
I'm an episode behind.
I'm an episode behind too. But you know what I've been seeing a lot of hate for? And I'm curious to see like how everyone else feels. But The Boys this season, people have really been fucking grinding it up.
They've been hating on it?
They have. And I guess it's more, people are saying that it's too politically like fueled and charged or whatever. I think it's fucking good. I like The Boys a lot.
I do too. I haven't started this season though.
And it's weird watching it and going from like Banshee to like, you have Lucas Hood to Homelander, you know what I mean? And it's just like, oh.
Wait, is that the same fucking guy?
Yeah. Tony Starr, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, dude.
The same actor. The guy that plays the main character in Banshee.
Yeah, Lucas Hood. Well, I guess you never really know his real name.
Holy shit. I had no idea. Yeah. And now that you mention it.
Yeah.
He absolutely is.
We should have him on.
All right. His name is Lucas Hood, or is that the guy that he played?
Lucas Hood was his name in Banshee, but you never find out his real name because remember he just takes the identity of that individual in the first episode of the dead sheriff.
That TV show was good. I never finished it.
I loved Banshee. Was one of my favorite shows, man. Mm-hmm. But apparently, like he was doing an interview and someone was like, "Wow, you're nothing like Homelander." And he's like, well, Homelander's a narcissistic, like, serial killer.
Did you think that that's what I was?
Yeah, right. I heard that also with Esposito.
Giancarlo?
Giancarlo
Esposito.
And people are, like, afraid of him. But apparently he's, like, one of the nicest dudes. But I also read something. Did you see where, like, right before Breaking Bad, he was, like, about to get divorced and he was so close to bankruptcy that he was like working or about to figure out how to work with somebody to kill him, so that way his family could get. And then I think he got Breaking Bad, and then that opened up The Boys, fucking Better Call Saul. He was in Star Wars.
He still isn't.
So he
still is in Star Wars. I think.
Far Cry. So he's really had a lot of opportunity.
Well.
Opportunities open up for him.
It's a good thing he didn't do it. That's fucking.
Well, that's kind of baller. Though, like
it's kind of baller though. Hire somebody to kill you.
Isn't that also like so shitty? Where it's like, well,
for sure.
Like
there's definitely better options. There's definitely better options.
Well,
right?
Isn't that an episode in like the first season of Ozark when Jason Bateman is like, all right, well, what if I kill myself? They're like, well, somebody whose business partner just dies ends up, also killing themselves. Like, you're not going to get the life insurance money if you do it yourself. It's just crazy to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that keeps popping up. I don't know if he just started talking about that, but I've been seeing that like every day on our feed.
Interesting.
And you know what? If you're listening and you're on our Instagram, I've been posting a lot of shit.
You've been popping off.
Yeah, I've been really
you're like a social media butterfly.
I've been really trying to drive our social media presence to the next level.
And also, hey man, nice shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
For anyone wondering, I would stand up, but I don't want to yank my.
Can we see the back? I don't want to. You can. I don't want to yank them off. You can take them off.
I don't want to yank. I don't.
You are wearing
do
pants,
all that.
aren't you?
Next time I'll show the back.
Mm-hmm.
But the shirts are nice, man. Like I really I think they're nice quality.
They are.
But ironically enough, we are working on a logo change for whenever we decide we get one that we like. So this is going to be a hot, a rare hot item.
The OG classic.
The OG classic that we may have to re-release later on down the line, a throwback tee.
There you go.
I also changed the mug, so if you were going to order a mug, I fucked the orientation of the... So anyone who bought a old mug, sorry, the orientation... Like, I put it on the front.
So when you hold your coffee mug, here's like, where you hold it. It's directly up across your neck. Usually when you hold your mug and it's like this, you can take a sip and then you pull it back down, and there it is. Now it was over here on the opposite side of the handle.
And that was my fuck up. When I designed it, I accidentally put it...
I didn't know that you could have it like that.
Me neither. Well, I don't know why they give you that fucking option, because that doesn't make any sense unless you're doing like text and then you want it to wrap, all the way through. But yeah, so the new mugs, if you're going to buy one, it is at... I can't remember which side. Doesn't fucking matter. But it's either on the left or the right side, whatever. And so we've been adding more merch. We've been getting some like affiliation links set up on our page. Our Hoobie, our Who.B page. There's a lot of cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
So if you haven't peeked
Daddy
it,
shop.
It's got everything you need. But also our Instagram and YouTube, they're all linked directly through there. You know what? And Hoobie has been good to us, so I don't see the need to change to Linktree or anything else. Like it's
Linktree charges, right?
Yeah, and Hoobie is free. I think we have the free subscription. I don't know anymore. But we have a subscription. But yeah, man, we have a bunch of shit that Eric and I are working on. So I think that's it, man. You got anything? It's been a long week. I think you and I are both super fucking just like exhausted today.
I'm beat. Look at me. I don't know. I said this is probably skin cancer. You said
you probably go to a dermatologist.
I probably should. I got a lot of sun time.
Yeah. Do you go to a dermatologist regularly? With as much sun time as you get, you really should.
Hold on. Last thing. This is why I want to talk about this. I went to the dermatologist. I have this thing on my back called tinea versicolor, right?
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually know a lot of guys that have it.
Yeah, it's common, I think, or fairly common.
But so I go to the dermatologist, and I kind of wanted to just get like the whole checkout, just check me for whatever. And I've talked to people, and they said that they go in there and they look at every square inch of their body.
Yep.
Right?
Mine does. Yep. Every 6 months I get a skin check.
This guy goes, first of all, I go in there and I strip down into my underwear.
Okay.
I just stripped down into my underwear.
Immediately. And you're in the waiting room.
And they said, "Sir, you need to leave."
This isn't even the dermatologist.
So they walk me into the room and they say, "All right, pull, get the area, show us the area." I strip into my underwear, and the guy, he's like, "All right, well," he just looks at me like really weird, and he goes, "Well, show me what's up. Show me what's wrong." And I go, "Oh, okay, sure. I guess I'll show you a thing." And I point to my back, and I go, "Yeah, tinea versicolor." And then he goes, "Okay, what else?" And I go, "That's it." He goes, "Okay, well, you could put your pants back on. I don't know why you took them off." And then at that point, I'm not going to tell the motherfucker, "No, I'm going to keep my pants." Listen, if some dude tells me to put my pants back on, I'm putting my pants back on.
But okay, so I'll send you the name of my dermatologist because look, you go in and you do strip to your underwear, and then you put the gown on. Literally, he takes it off, and then he looks at every scope. His assistant, I guess it's like she's like a PA, she's or a nurse. She's taking pictures with an iPad. Right?
Okay.
And so like he takes my underwear off, lifts up the nutsack, looks under, takes pictures, and then they'll compare. So every 6 months they'll say, "All right, compare this with this," and then they'll say, "That's normal. That's normal. That looks like it could be something. That's normal. We'll keep an eye on that." Like that's
Do you
what
get
you
to see
need.
the comparison?
Yeah.
Can you check to see if like your balls got bigger or?
Yeah, if they've grown.
Do your balls get bigger as you get older?
I don't know.
You know who would know?
Maybe.
I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go when you tell me who he is. Is he in, is he like local?
There's a Middletown. I think he has a and a Dover. So the Middletown office would be close. The Middletown office is like right near. It's like 2 minutes from my house. Okay. So you could schedule it.
Yeah,
you know,
I'll come
on
over.
a day yeah. Or like if you're coming home, you know, or whatever, schedule. I really like him, but you should probably do that. So, and also for anyone listening, go to the dermatologist. Wear suntan or sunscreen.
And wear sunscreen.
You know?
Don't be
a nice
don't be
SPF. Don't be an Eric, which you wore 0 of.
I got some sprayed on me coincidentally.
It wasn't even like it was
standing
just,
in the mist.
Yeah. But all right, well, I'm Greg.
And I'm Eric.
And thank you for listening. We are the Daddies.